It's your girl, Hope, your TV movie bestie, and you already know I watch good shit, and I'm watching Paradise. All right, let's get into episode 7. Whew, y'all, I have to breathe because I be on the edge of my seat the whole time. Okay, first up, we start with flashback. So we see the old president, Sinatra, and the builder. The builder is taking them through the inner workings of the bunker. He's showing them room by room, how it's going to go, all this stuff. Now we go through the episode watching this flashback. Okay, by the end of the episode, the president is like, so what if a fire happens? So the builder guy goes, this will happen. And he's like, well, what if somebody try to break in? So he's giving him these different scenarios. And the guy's like, don't worry. Like, we have planned for all of these scenarios. Everything's going to be fine. We will sustain ourselves down here for years to come. So the president goes, well, what if all of that stuff go wrong at the same time? Like, so they have a fail-proof system for if they run out of oxygen. So if they start running out of oxygen inside the bunker, then the doors automatically open. And he's like, okay, so what if the doors open? And then if there's say there's a militia or somebody trying to get in, they can initiate a full lockdown, which makes everything stop moving. So he's like, well, what if you got that happening? What if you got the doors opening? And then what if somebody is like trying to blow us up and we're on a full lockdown, but the door's opening? And he's like, yeah, that would never be happening. Like, both of those things would not be occurring. And so the president's like, okay. And so basically he talks to Sinatra and he's like, you've done good work here, but no empire thinks they're ever going to fall. Like, every empire in the history of empires was always doing really good until they weren't. And then they all fell. And they never fell when they were like at their worst. They always fell at their best. And so he's like, I just don't know about this whole bunker thing. And he's like, what if we fall? And so Sinatra's like, not on my watch. And I'm like, okay. All right, so that's that flashback. Now, present day, let's get on talk about Terry and Xavier. All right, they meet, they hug. Oh, so great. Finally, they're together. All right, now we can never just be happy, right? Because they get together. Xavier's like, okay, I'm gonna trust the train people. Everybody put their guns down. Okay, we're all friends. We're all on the same page. Here go Gary. Send Terry a little note talking about I got Bean. Please come home. Gary. I'm sick of Gary. Okay. So Terry, she tells Xavier, like, look, I got to go get Bean. I can't explain it, but he's my little family now. And he's like, say less. Let's go. So they go. They on top of a building. They looking out in the post office. They see Gary. They see the little boy. So Xavier's like, it don't look like Gary got no gun, but if he do, I'm pretty sure it's close by. And he's like, I recommend we just go ahead and take Gary out from the start. And then we go on up in there, get Bean, and get on back to the train station. And I said, excellent idea. Like, let's kill Gary, eliminate the problem, and then go get our little boy. Terry, on the other hand, like, no, I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to him. Why? Gary is crazy. Like, Gary been doing the absolute most for the past few episodes. We done talking. Like, Gary, we about that action. So I'm like, Xavier, take this dude out. So, he's like, if he touch you, if he even breathe too close to you, I will take him out. I will not hesitate. And she's like, okay. So, she go in. Gary is fucking Delulu. Gary talking about you're home. Welcome home. I got dinner started. Here go Bean. Run over to Terry. He's like, I got dinner started. We can go ahead and eat. Gary, ain't nobody eating. We ain't having no more dinners with your crazy ass. So she's like, Gary, we got to go. Like, I got to get Bean and I got to get up out of here. And she's like, this is over. And so Gary's like, I didn't mean to hurt nobody. I just got so desperate when I realized you was going to leave. You was going to take Bean. He's like, I know these years were terrible. He said, but they was the best of my life. And he said, I just wanted you to love me. And I'm like, Gary, that's all well and good. But bruh, like she told you, she been on her husband since day one. It has been very clear that she was going back to her husband. And you thought a few years of nothing in this post office was going to change her mind about that? Baby, no. She's in love with a strong black man. Like, Gary, you was not going to be the one. So she's like, Gary, these years were beautiful and terrible at the same time, but this is over. Let me and Bean go. And so, Gary get a little close and Terry's like, whoa, Xavier out there on the roof. And if you start something, it's definitely going to be something. And so Gary's like, okay. And so he said, you know what? If you're just going to leave, like, just let him take me out. Just let him take me out. And she's like, nope. Hug Gary. Gary, it's okay. I know you're going to find your way back. You'll live again and everything will be okay. But we got to go now. And they went. Like, her, Bean, and Xavier. And they just let Gary live. Now, y'all, no. Why didn't we kill Gary? I just am like, so y'all think Gary just over it now? Because Terry came and said, we got to go and I'm sorry. He killed his best friend. And he almost killed Xavier. Like, and who knows what he been doing to Bean? Like, he told me something, you thought I was going to hurt Bean. Gary, I don't know because you're fucking crazy. Like, I don't trust crazy people. We should have took Gary out. But, okay. So then Bean, Terry, and Xavier, they going back to the train. People, then they headed to Colorado. So Xavier is like, we got one more stop to make. Because remember, we still got Annie's baby to get. So he's like, you still like babies, right? And she's like, yeah. So they get the baby. They get on the train and they're headed off. Now, that's by the end of the episode. A lot of shit done gone down in the episode. So I'm like, y'all don't even know what y'all going home to. Like, Okay, but that's their story. Let's go to Gabby and Jane. Y'all, Gabby freaking out this whole episode. She is just peeping out the windows. She watching her back. She waking up. She hearing sounds. Okay. Oh, you scared now, Gabby? What happened to you, Billy Badass, last episode when you was like, I'm coming for Sinatra and all of this? Oh, you weren't scared then, but you're scared now. So she go outside. Sinatra done called an emergency meeting. She go outside. Here go Jane. Jane waiting with the car. And she like, oh no, I'll walk. I'm good. So Jane like, all right, I'll see you there. So funny. I'm like, because Jane is a psycho. So they get to the little emergency meeting. They said this team is coming, this 5-man team of the militia. They're going to be unarmed. We need to meet them with 5 men. Sinatra needs to go and talk to them. So some head of security, he's like, all right, I'm going to be on the team and then I'll pick the other people. So here go Jane. I volunteer. Here go Gabby. Gabby like, I disagree. What? The way Jane cut her eyes at her, like, who this bitch talking to? So Gabby said, nope, they've already seen you. They know you. They'll be on high alert if you show up again. So you should just fall back. So Sinatra's like, yep, I think that's a good idea. And she's like, but Jane, you've done good work here. Your knowledge is invaluable. Please share it with the rest of the team. And then everything's going to be good. I was expecting Jane to come out the bag on these folks and just cut up. But Jane was like, okay, cool. So I was like, oh, okay, she all right. So she told him all the information about Link and all this stuff. So they're like, okay. Now, Gabby and Jane, they still stalking each other. So Gabby's going about her day, but she constantly looking over her shoulder, and Jane is always watching. So Gabby, she starts looking up information about Alex. You know, she's like, who is Alex? She going through this database system. There's a million Alexes. She don't know last name. She don't know if it's Alexandria or Alexander. She don't know what she's looking for. So she just frustrated. She throw a laptop down. Okay, she's still scared. It gets to be nighttime, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna get a shower. So she closed all the blinds and stuff. I said, now this is the first time in the history of anything where folks is closing blinds and closing curtains, because you know it'll be black dark outside and people have their windows wide open. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all don't think people be looking in your house? Close your blinds. Close your curtains. Do not let it be nighttime and have your windows and stuff all open. People looking. So Gabby is getting ready to get in the shower. So Jane makes her move. Because I said the moment Gabby shut her down from getting on that little meetup crew, I said, oh yeah, Jane is definitely going to kill Gabby this episode. Like, for sure. So Jane shows up at Gabby's house. She opened up the door. She see the shower. And in the biggest plot twist of, well, I don't know about this episode because there was a lot of plot twists, but in a very big plot twist, Gabby comes up behind Jane and stabs her. Y'all, Jane gone. Jane in the shower. Just bleeding out. I said, what? Not Gabby. Not Gabby. Y'all, okay, as much as I have wanted Jane to die this season, I just thought, Gabby? Like I don't know. I wanted Xavier to take her out, maybe even Robinson, but like, you know, a formidable opponent. Gabby been doing all the wrong things this whole season, and like she the one to kill Jane. Jane, they ain't had to do you like that, girl. They did not have to take you in your clothes in the shower. It wasn't even that good of a kill. I said, dog, Gabby. Okay, couldn't get over that. Gabby sit on the side of the bed and she just like, wow, I really killed Jane. So they little part ends. Okay, let's go to Sinatra and Link. Okay, so, you know, Link is head of the militia. They people come on in. They got his apple pie. Now, y'all, he had one slice of pie. Is that what he asked for? Just one slice? Because I said, baby, you done waited 3 years and all you got was one slice of apple pie. And it was a little bitty slice. Like, you should have got a whole pie. Matter of fact, all y'all should have got a pie. Like, okay, anyway. So they meet and he sees Air Force One in the back. And he's like, yo, is that? And he's like, look, if we gonna meet, we should meet on there. And so Sinatra's like, all right, let's do it. So they get on the plane, you know, they start talking. And so she's like, what you here for? What you want? And he's like, y'all got 4 nuclear reactors here and we want one of them. And she's like, okay, what do you really want? Because you seem to know a lot about us. And knowing what you know, you should know that we would definitely never give you that. So what do you want? And he goes, I'm here for Alex. Who is Alex? Who is Alex? So Sinatra's like, meeting adjourned. She's like, nope, we're done here. And so she gets up and she leaves. They walk out and she's like, look, you know, we have 4 nuclear reactors, so we are prepared for anything. And she's like, I suggest y'all don't go out there and get froggy. And she's like, because it's not going to end well for your people. And don't try to come up in here. And she's like, just forget about all this. Just go on back wherever y'all came from. Because he tells her it's 10,000 of them. I said, damn, 10,000? So she's like, yeah, just forget about this. Don't do nothing. And he's like, oh no, I'm coming for Alex. And then Sinatra goes in a very key piece of information. She goes, well, you should know that I'll do everything in my power to protect her. Alex is a her. Okay. A clue. Still, who the hell is Alex? But all right. So then she says, and I'm also going to protect my people. You know, y'all not just going to come up in here. So Alex like, all right. So then, in another plot twist, militia people, they're calling for Link. Now, we've been calling him Link this whole time. This guy from outside goes, come on, Dylan. Dylan? Y'all, Dylan is Sinatra's son's name. So me and Sinatra was like, wait a minute now. Did he just say Dylan? And so she said, how old are you? Because earlier in the episode, when she's talking to her husband, she tells her husband that today Dylan would be 26 years old. This guy goes, I'm 26. What? And then Sinatra goes, hey, when's your birthday? Because he's leaving. He says, I said, if this man say May 16th. And that's exactly what he said. Y'all, Dylan is Link and Link is alive? How? How, Sway? Well, now, granted, we don't know what happened to Dylan, but he's supposed to have been dead all these years. Like, y'all, just when I think this show is not going to surprise me or can't get crazier, it say, Hope, just keep watching. And I do. Okay. So then Sinatra, she runs home. She starts kissing on her husband and stuff. And he's like, whoa, what's going on with you? You had a good day? And she's like, I did. And she said, you know what? For the first time, I feel like Dylan having a good time too. And he was like, okay, cool. Now, my thing is, Sinatra, if you really think that's your son, you know he not going to stop. You know he going to try to get in here. And you know, y'all people going to try to kill him. So you just going to let that happen? That's your son. Like, so I've had it hard to believe that she would allow that. Like, because she still ain't over his death or whatever. So something big going down in the next episode with that. Something very big going down. Okay. So back to Dylan. Dylan is now back with the militia. You know, he done told him how it went. And he's like, well, they gave us no choice. We attacked first thing in the morning. I said, my God, today. Okay. Now, since you know they're about to attack. All right. Let's go to the Three Musketeers. That's who I'm calling the President's son, Robinson, and the Builder. Okay, so remember in the last episode, they done went down some stairs or something. They trying to get out. Okay, so we find out now that they are going to this command center. Early in the flashback where everything, if these crazy things happen, a fire, somebody try to get in, you know, the system will like take care of itself. So they go down there. So the Builder says, this is our plan. We are going to tear all this shit up so the oxygen levels will start getting low. Because when the oxygen levels get low, the doors bust open. Because the president's son said, look, we want people to know it's okay outside. If you want to go outside, go on outside. If you want to stay in here, stay. But we want to give y'all the choice. So, mind you, militia people are planning to attack, which means they're going to try to bust in. And then the Three Musketeers, they trying to blow all the doors open. So, meanwhile, the Secret Service people, they looking for Sinatra. Because they like, what we going to do now that the militia trying to get in and they got 10,000 men. So, nobody can find Sinatra. And so, they like, look, we just going to have to initiate a full lockdown. Now, the lockdown is preventing anything from going on outside. but the three musketeers blowing the doors open. So, and the militia coming in. What we gonna do, y'all? So, as all these things start happening at the same time, which was what the president was talking about early in the episode, the whole system start crashing. Everything start going to hell. And I said, my God, today, what is we gonna do, y'all? Okay, so then the $1 million question, where the hell is Sinatra? Sinatra, she getting on the doggone subway, which, surprise, another plot twist to what this whole bunker thing got going on. She on the subway, just riding along. She gets to something, puts her little hand on the door open. She go in, and she done got herself together, got a little jacket on, and she says, hi, Alex. And the episode goes off. Y'all, I thank God this show about to be over next week, because my blood pressure is through the roof. I cannot with this show. Whew, okay. Who is Alex? That's what I really want to know. I really want to know, who is Alex? What is Alex's role in all of this? Is Alex even a person? Think about that. What if Alex is some kind of machine, AI something? Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for next week. I'm ready for next week. So how are y'all feeling? Just let me know, besties. Am I on this ride alone? Are y'all here? Like, are y'all as confused as I am? Do y'all have as many questions as I do? Like, where y'all at? Are y'all chilling? Y'all got it figured out? I would like to know. So I'm on all the socials. Your TV Movie Bestie. Like, subscribe, follow. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to see y'all next week on the next episode. Bye, besties.